Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be covering more about the vertical line test and why it's actually powerful to calculus, because I felt like I didn't do that really well in my last video. Yeah, sorry for the lack of uploading the past couple days. Just been really sick, and my voice was shot, as you guys saw in that video. I really didn't want to overdo it and record multiple videos to put out for you guys. So let's just hop right into it. All right, so in the previous video, we defined the vertical line test. We said it comes from a function. The definition of function, which a function is a special kind of relation. Move the camera a little bit for you guys. See if that works. It's just so it's not so zoomed out. It's a function. A function is a special kind of relation. With it's a relation with it's a relation with one exactly one output for every input. Okay, and pretty much the whole idea behind it is, if we take a curve, it doesn't matter the curve. Okay. And if we just imagine invisible vertical lines passing through every point on the x-axis, and it touches only one point, then f as a function. Sorry, I'll move that over for you guys. So essentially all this says is a vertical line touching one point exactly on f, then f is a function. Okay. If that so just to show you guys, pretty much, if you guys remember, so pretty much what that means is, like we said, every x we input, there's f of x, like a machine. It spits out an f of x. All right, so no input value. No input value can be repeated. All right, but the output values, as long as there's only one, as long as there's only one output value per input value, then there's exactly one. Then it's a function technically. And so an example of this would be like a parabola. So what I'm trying to say. Sorry about that, guys. I still have a little bit of a cough. But what I'm trying to say is the output values can repeat, but the input values cannot. So like a good example of this, so they can repeat. A good example of this is the idea of the graph, which we'll cover, the quadratic graph. We'll cover this soon. At 1 and -1, they're two different domain values, or they're two different, yes, domain values with different output, with the same output values of 1. If that makes sense. And it passes the vertical line test because every vertical line, you can just take a pencil during a test or something, and you just write the lines. Just imagine it. and it's only, sorry about that, guys, and it passes through only 1 point, so the vertical line test passes, so f is a function. And the best example of this will be a horizontal line. I know I said this last video, but I didn't explain it that good. Fix that a little bit. There we go. All right, if you take your pencil with the horizontal line, or on this horizontal line, so with the horizontal line, these are all the same output values. So let's call this A. Okay, so every point, every input value is spitting out this point A, this value of A. So for every x, f of x is equal to A. So we plug in 1, we get A. Plug in 2, we get A. Plug in 3, we get A, so on and so forth. And so if it passes the vertical line test. You see here, take the pencil, move that over a little bit so you guys can see it better. And it allows us to, it's easier to see with graph paper, but pretty much every point on the graph, a vertical line goes straight through. It only touches only 1 point. So it's a function, all right? So an example of a function so an example of a graph not being a function, let me get a new piece of paper. So let's draw another set of axes, xi. And say we have a sideways parabola. All right. Is it a function? So the first thing is, so if graphically, if I was given this on a test, I would either draw dotted lines with my paper, like this, or I'll take my pencil or pen and just start touching, just leaving it vertically on the graph, and moving it. And as you see here, it touches 2 points, touches here and here, all throughout. And that's not a function. It's technically not a function. Not a function. That's a good example of a function failing the vertical line test, of a relation failing a vertical line test, so it's not a function. So, and just one more example, a circle. When we cover circles later on. This definitely fails because it touches 2 points, vertical lines. There's multiple 2 or more points, I should say. So that's also not a function. Okay, so the whole so you guys might be asking, what is the vertical line test used for? Let me reset this real quick. So the vertical line test is used for, it's really powerful. It's a powerful tool because it allows us to, all right, so when we have a set, so given a set, all right, so vertical line test, VLT, move that up a little bit for you guys. It allows us to define functions. It allows us to also create more. It also allows us to, what's the word I'm looking for? Not create, but it also allows us to later on define inverse functions. Define inverse functions. So pretty much we need to determine if a function is by the vertical line test a function before we can find its inverse. Define inverse once function defined. And also in calculus, allows us to determine continuity. The whole is, so it needs to be a function to be able to be continuous, of course. And so that's pretty much it for the that's pretty much it for the video. Just a quick recap. The vertical line test comes from the definition of a function. It comes from the definition of a function. It's a relation with exactly one output for every input. And so pretty much if we take a vertical line behind it and it passes through one point, it allows us to then f is a function. So if this graph f passes through, if a vertical line passes through it, it's a function, and it only passes through one point. If it passes through two or more points, it's no longer a function. It's just a relation that we happen to have a graph for. And then it also allows us to define functions, define inverse functions. Once we define a function, define continuity, and much more, which we'll see as we go further along in math. So in the next videos, we'll cover more about functions, mainly algebra functions, and also more. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you guys next video.